When I think about the deterrent for me in confessing, most of the time, all it is I don't want them to know what I did. And the reason is shame. And shame is the belief that what I've done reveals something about who I am. Shame for me is the guardian at the door saying, well, no, keep the windows closed, keep the door shut. They can see from the outside, but don't let them see inside. And I think as I've been with these guys in confession for the last 5 years, one of the things that's shifted for me is that when I confess, I am confessing the darkness of what I've done, but in so doing, I'm revealing the light of who I am. And I've challenged myself and felt challenged by the Spirit to think about it as a light and good practice, because it is the opportunity to reveal something untrue about me and then to receive the truth about who I am spoken by a brother.
And that's all that confession is, to me anyway. It's just revealing the truth of where I am. Not who I am, it's not all I am, but it's just where I've been. The hiding for me at a profound level started in my 20s, and that went on for years and years and years, and even into my marriage. The truth came out and allowed me to say things I thought I would never say to a brother or my wife. And that was the most liberating thing. It was a death, because I was no longer the person they thought that I was. Honestly, they probably didn't think I was that person anyway, for all kinds of reasons. But I realized before them, I didn't have to pretend any longer. We hunkered down together. We went through this season of about 6 months of really intense time of really practicing the way of being known in our sin and our weakness. It just opened up an avenue of being known in some pretty dark places in our life that allowed us to overcome shame to the point where we started confessing our sin to each other every single day. And that's continued for almost 5 years.
Basically, how we've set up our confession group is it's a group text string, and we use the letters Y and N. Y means, yes, I'm doing well. I feel like I'm in good standing with the Lord. N means, no, something's up. I have something to confess. And so there's 2 letters. The first is for yourself. How are you doing? Yes, I'm doing great. N, I'm not doing well. The second letter is for your relationships. You put our Y and N for that category too. And so if someone in the group texts an NY, then someone else in the group they'd volunteer to give that person a call. Basically, the person that, signaled I'm not well, they will confess what happened, and the person listening will receive their confession and then offer prayer for them. And it's honestly that simple. It's basically hearing the confession and then partnering with that person in prayer, bringing it to the Father, and extending mercy on behalf of each other.
I think I had my first transformational experience with confession when I was in college. I remember thinking, there's something about what's happening inside of me that does not match up with the image that other people see of me. And then at some point that became, I can't keep doing this. And it became exhausting. It became exhausting to kind of try to keep making sure that people saw what I wanted them to see around me. And so I remember I had a conversation with my dad, and very nervous about that. And so I shared with him some things that happened to me as a child and some implications of that through my upbringing into my college years. And the way that he just immediately started weeping. And then he grabbed my hands and said in the coffee shop, I've never loved you any less, and I can never love you anymore. And I don't know what any of this means, but I want to walk with you through it. And it just has radically changed everything for me. And now as I think about confession, I think about confession is not just sin management. It's not even close to sin management. Confession is the desire and belief and goal of living without secrets in your life. The Spirit is the one who is uprooting sin in my life. If I could have stopped sinning, I already would have.
Right.
I promise you that, but I can't, and I need help. And so confession is the way that I partner with the Spirit to uproot this sin in my life. Because if I can't control my sin, I can control my secrets. And so confession for me is the practice of choosing to live a life without secrets.
I would say if I could graduate from sin, then I wouldn't need confession anymore. And because I know that's not true, confession will always need to be part of my life as long as I follow Jesus. And the conviction behind that is I know what it's like not to be known and how isolated and lonely and scary that is. And the difference, even though it's still hard and I still have to fight my shadow side every time I confess, I have to fight the shame. I have to fight that feeling of self-preservation and wanting to project a certain image. I have to fight all of that and die to myself. The reward of that is something that can't really be put into words. It's just a whole different way of living. And I've tasted enough of that to know that that's what I want.